Welcome to the fourth and final review of the evening. Up this time is Beasts of Maravilla Islands. Beasts of Maravilla Island is a 3D adventure game where you take on the role of a young wildlife photographer who traverses the titular Maravilla Island. Its magical ecosystems to discover the extraordinary creatures, learn their behaviors, and most importantly, photograph their majesty. Indeed, if you will recall, we have covered this game in interview form with Whitethorn Digital. It came up in the last two interviews we did with them this season. Um, I'd probably recommend the first one we did, um, but there was some stuff. There was some good stuff in the second interview as well. Um, point basically what we were told by Whitethorn was this is a free range version of Pokemon Snap. Um, and this was
Without the Pokemon,
right.
but without their animals.
They've got their replacement animals. Uh,
hmm
anyway, so this was given to Twilight for his departing review. So take it away.
All right. So yeah, free range Pokemon Snap is pretty accurate with this. With this game, you take on the role of Marina, who is traveling to this mysterious island. Um, I think it was at the request of her grandfather, who had visited this island um, like once or twice before, and uh, and pretty much wishes her to go there herself. After his passing, with his photo book slash sketchbook, um, for spoiler reasons. To go there and photograph the animals and as well as something else as well. And there's yeah. Well, there she chases after this mysterious deer-like creature that is much more magical in nature than most of the other creatures there, and all the while photographing the various mis- um, borderline mystical creatures there. Um, the gameplay is it's semi-open world. I say semi-open world because this is kind of the game is divided up into like technically four sections, but it's more so three. Um, a jungle, a swamp, and a mountainous area. Um, and you can freely travel these various areas, and your overall goal for each section is to you got one particular creature, like for example in the jungle, the singing jungle as it's called. There are these bird monkeys. I think they're called blinkies or something. I forgot what their exact name is, but yeah, there are these avian monkeys that you follow around and will chase after her and such, and photograph them in various behaviors. All the while, there's other creatures they can photograph as well, various bugs as well as flora and birds and some other creatures. Your primary goal is to photograph the one main creature while also photographing the other ones as well. You don't have to photograph everything the core creature or creatures do, but there are certain ones you do have to acquire because this list this game's certain behaviors from them that will allow you to travel further in that area or level. Um, and then and you have various interactions you can form while traveling to these areas. Besides the photography, which you can do both pictures of the creatures themselves as well as selfies as well. To my knowledge, I never found anything that the selfies did differently besides being something for fun. But yeah, and besides photographing, you have the option to be able to pick up certain items and use them to garner a reaction from some creatures. Like there's these snails that eat apples, and you can get them to follow you around to with the apple to do various things. And there's a stone you can use to play fetch with these creatures called otter dials. They're like half otter and half crocodile. And some other things as well. And you have an overall option. Well, you have a option to whistle as well. Some of these options are very situational. The whistling helps really only in certain situations. From what I've seen, I did just get about a near 100% completion bonus in this game, but there was like one or two creatures I never could find, and I'm under the assumption whistling might have got them to come out of hiding. In the tutorial, you'll learn that some creatures won't show up if you don't whistle or something like that. Obviously. Let's see here. Yeah, it has those options. Yeah, you of course your means of traveling through the air, through the levels will involve climbing and possibly hopping across lily pads, like in the swamp area that I got for the footage here. Yeah. Mm, kind of lost my train of thought there. Yeah, ah, I will say that the controls for this game, I found them to be kind of interesting. This is mostly with the mouse, as how loose it is. I guess would be the best way to put it. You can, of course, change mouse sensitivity, but yeah, it does allow for quite a range of movement while exploring. Making it actually fairly easy to do so, which I actually appreciated. I know some people might complain about that, but in this case, it works to its advantage. And you can. I personally have no personal preference for this, but I did find that the game was also um, fairly enjoyable to play with controller as well. But in this case, I actually, of course, preferred the use of a mouse and keyboard for this. Not that there's anything wrong with the controller; it works well there, as I already said. Yeah, and, Uh, I guess. So if there's anything else should mention gameplay wise, yeah, the pretty much overall gameplay wise, the game is fairly relaxed. There's no real sense of urgency at any point through it. Maybe towards the end, it gives you this sort of false sense of urgency there, but nothing that'll have you on your toes. Yeah, you can play this game at your leisure. You have to admit, I'm kind of disappointed this game isn't longer. You could actually beat this game in about an afternoon if you wish. But like I said, it is relaxed. So you can take your time and have fun with it. With all the with the photography, you can pretty well take as many pictures as you want if you wish. You got infinite film for your camera. So yeah, then I guess that moves us on to visuals. Visuals, I really liked. Um, they're very colorful and vibrant. Definitely for besides one half of the final area, definitely invoking. Well, no. Yeah, for each of the areas, overall, definitely evoking a sense of wonder, of all the colors and design of the environments. Definitely evoking a sense of this being a magical island that you're exploring. Um, Same with the various creatures as well. None that were, I would say, ridiculous. Too ridiculous, for me at least. Some may find like the banana bird to be a little, maybe a little over the top, but and maybe a few other creatures as well. Um, and there are some that are, mm, I I'll hold off on that actually. Um, but yeah, the creature designs are, I definitely liked them. Yeah, nothing too out there basically, and I definitely liked some of the sketches in the grandfather's sketchbook as well. Some there were definitely some very beautiful sketches of the creatures that you're tracking, completing the objectives for, and as well as some very nice sketches of the environment as well. Yeah, would say graphically, the game's actually very nice to look at. Not, of course, obviously not AAA quality, but aesthetically, it's quite pleasing. Um, as for the audio, the music, let's see how to describe this. The music was all very nice. I can't say any of this would be the sort that I would listen to outside the game, but I did like the soundtrack, even though there's really only maybe just a few songs in the game. This game doesn't have a soundtrack available to get, but But the soundtrack definitely worked with the game itself. Well, with the area when you're exploring the areas, it definitely worked well with in the background and helping the atmosphere of each of the areas. Of course, like the jungle example, it's going to be, as you expect, some jungle drum beating type music. While this swamp area here, with its um, very glowy, surreal aesthetic, it's going to have this sort of crystalline um, kind of music and vibe to the music. Not like the best. Not sure that would be the best description for it, but definitely invoking some sense of a dream-like atmosphere to it. And I think the last area was sort of woodwind. I think I definitely found the first two levels to be the most memorable for their music. Um, so there is voice acting in this game, but not a whole lot, not much really. The main character herself does have some speaking lines, and it was a pretty. The voice acting was quite good for her. There are a few lines from the grandfather as well, only at the beginning, at the end, and um, yeah. Overall, the voice acting was good. Um, Not really enough for me to actually say, really give a clear, to say quite clearly if I thought it was outright good or bad. It wasn't bad though. um, as your um, as for other sounds, the creatures do of course make I do have cries and vocal sounds that they make, and nothing that really stands out. But I did find a lot of the vocal sounds they made were appropriate for them. Can't really say any that were particularly memorable. Well, perhaps the otter dials were kind of memorable. Nothing else really. I guess I definitely can say that there was plenty in the way of atmospheric sounds coming from the creatures themselves that filled the background as well as the not just the music, but there are atmospheric sounds from the forests that you're exploring. Um, is there any questions for anything that might not mention that anybody might be curious about?
Uh, does it actually save the pictures you take, or is there an option to?
Yeah, it saves the pictures you take. Yeah, the game's got not just autosave. Yeah, there's a autosave for the game itself, but yeah, it saves the pictures as well. And
Can you bring your copy of the game to Blockbuster and
unfortunately not.
I'm kidding, but I you could print them out obviously if it's on a computer, so.
Yeah, I know you're joking. Yeah. I mean, of course, with this being on the PC, it's not an impossible thing to do to print out a picture of anything that you take. um, But yeah, overall, the game, I definitely enjoyed it. As I said, I'm just kind of disappointed it wasn't longer, but I guess it was also long enough that it didn't outstay its welcome, I guess you could say. Yeah, it's just enough to be enjoyable, and I guess I might have kind of rushed through the game to some degree. Um, but at the same time, I definitely can't say um, definitely can't say that I didn't want more of it though, which is probably why I ended up rushing through it. But yeah, so yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. Enjoy it. It's definitely the sort of game that's more appropriate for um, a more relaxed, um, doing it at your leisure type gameplay. So that takes us to pricing. So on Steam, it is $9.99, $10. I definitely could say it's worth the price there. I can definitely recommend it at that. Um, this game is also available for the Switch as well. If anybody might be interested in that on the Switch instead. I haven't played on Switch myself, obviously, but it's also $9.99 there as well. And then these are not out yet, but apparently it's going to also be coming out for the PS4 and Xbox at some point later on. So if you prefer those platforms, and you just wait for those in, I don't know what the prices are going to be, of course. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, as I already said, I can definitely recommend this game. I enjoyed my time with it. Didn't go 100% on it. Came close to it though. But definitely one of the more easy, um, enjoyable, easygoing games I've played. So yeah, that's it for me.
Indeed. So, as previously mentioned, this is Twilight's last review for the time being. He will not be with us for season 15. He might be for season 16, but it kind of depends on how his new position at his job goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's welcome to come back at any time when it's,
Yeah.
practical.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in the meantime, how we will be handling reviews next season is right now we will still be retaining the 4 review structure. I will either take the 4th position or it'll be a multi-code or a freeware review that we can, the 3 of us that are coming back next season will cover. Um, this may be adjusted as we go along. Like I said, it's a transition to new things. Um, anyway, yeah, so that'll about do it for this review session. Coming up on the season finale, um, we will have a episode of Last News Desk on Left, as far as I know. Um, you know, Mac has said that he even if he's entertaining his friend, he still has to work, so um, he will be here this week. As far as Fragments goes, it's maybe. It's always a maybe now. Like, um, but anyway, on Wednesday, June 30th, we'll be having Brian Drake of Uproom Games. They are the developers of A Token War. It's a strategy game that's quite literal. Um, it's you are playing as literal tokens, which is all sorts of recursion that I don't want to get into here. Um, It's also got deck building and stuff like that there. We'll, you know, we will be getting more in depth than that on Wednesday. So until then, I shall wish you good gaming.